about the P-51 Mustang. Now, the very first Mustang prototype was designed and built in a mere 120 days. Yes, that's only 4 months. And flew for the very first time October 26 in 1940. And Raymond Rice and Egner Smead were head of the North American Aviation Design Team at that time. Now, on the 9th of December 1940, the British Purchasing Commission sent a letter to North American Aviation stating that the airplane had been given the official designation as Mustang. Now, the Mustang introduced many new innovative features such as a streamlined fuselage, laminar flow wing, sealed ailerons, and airflow ducting. The Mustang flew operationally the European, Pacific, and Korean battlefronts. And it is armed with 650 caliber Browning machine guns, 2 with 400 rounds per gun, and 4 with 270 rounds. The aircraft also has provision for 2 bombs that weigh up to 1,000 pounds each and 6 5-inch rockets. Let's give Cash a big wave as he goes by the F-15 in his backseater. Now, ladies and gentlemen, high into your left, accelerating to over a speed of 400 miles per hour, the North American P-51 Mustang. Aircraft, P-51 Mustang, is called Crazy Horse 2, and is actually a TF-51 Mustang, which was the last designation given to the Mustang series and stands for Trailer Fighter, which means that there's 2 seats in this aircraft, so you can fly from the back and the instructor flies from the front. And Crazy Horse 2 flies in the colors of the 487th Fighter Squadron and the 352nd Fighter Group, based out of Osh, Belgium in 1944. This particular Mustang was actually built in 1945. As Lee comes down and completes once again, take your Mustang in the vertical for the upcoming Cuban 8. Now, the engine that's in the majority of the P-51 Mustang is the famous Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. It is actually a 1,650 cubic inch, 12-cylinder inline power plant that produces just under 1,700 horsepower. Now, the Mustang was actually designed to be a fighter escort that could stay with bombers leaving the enemy territory, which were taking very heavy losses back in World War II. The bomber crews ended up nicknaming the P-51 Mustang Little Friends. Repositioning for his next maneuver, the barrel roll. This particular maneuver will show the vertical capability of the P-51 Mustang. The aircraft, such as the MB-109, Fokker 190, and the Japanese Zero, they could outturn the Mustang in a dogfight, but they could never ever come close in the vertical arena. Even though over 15,000 Mustangs were produced, there are only 160 still flying throughout the entire world today. So not a good number, but at least there's some out there. Now, the next maneuver that Lee's coming in for is the inverted pass. Now, due to the oil pressure system on the airplane can only be inverted for approximately 10 seconds. back around, Lee will come in and perform the four-point hesitation roll. And this particular aircraft, as I stated before, is called a TF-51 Mustang. And back at our facility in Kissimmee, Florida, which is not that far away from here, just right outside of Orlando, we actually do what we call orientation flight with this aircraft, where you physically fly the aircraft with one of our instructors. We'd be flying from the rear, instructor from the front, but you would get to do the majority of the flying yourself. And a lot of the maneuvers that you see here today, the barrel roll, the Cuban 8, the 4-point, the 8-point hesitation roll coming up. So all of these maneuvers that you see, you could actually come and experience those for yourself. If you want to know more information, please check out our website, which is www.stallion540.com. As Lee comes in for his next maneuver, which is going to be the 8-point roll, let me tell you a little bit about Lee himself. Lee was actually born in Toledo, Ohio, began flying Mustangs in 1977. And today he has amassed over 8,000 hours in the P-51, as well as accumulating hours on many other vintage Allied fighters. And for many years, Lee was the chief pilot, the golfer and businessman, Mr. Arnold Palmer, as well as being a civilian instructor for the Navy Test Pilot School at Pax River, Maryland. Now, currently, Lee is our chief flight instructor and demonstration pilot for Stallion 51, as one of the 9 civilian pilots for the United States Air Force Heritage Flight Program that you will have the pleasure of witnessing very shortly after this with the F-15 strike. Grab your cameras as Lee is repositioning to bring the Mustang in close for the photo pass. Now again, we'd like to say thank you for allowing us to be with you here today. It's been many, many years that we have performed here at MacDill Air Force Base. We appreciate each and every time. We hope that you guys enjoy the show, and hopefully we'll see you back here next year. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it very much.